What is your favorite conspiracy theory? The 10-year challenge on Facebook in 2019, which encouraged FB users to upload pictures from 2009 and a current one from 2019, was actually a front by programmers to gain data and examples to train facial recognition and age progression software. Sometimes these weird celebrity baby names are fake names to try and protect the child's privacy. Bigfoot is actually just naturally blurry. That's why there are no good photos. Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, is actually the son of Fidel Castro. First, Justin looks like a young Fidel, obviously, and nothing like Pierre Trudeau. And Pierre and Margaret Trudeau were rumored to be swingers. They were in Cuba in early 1971, around February or March, and Justin was born Christmas of that year, about 9 months later. Here I go again. This needs to be brought back to everyone's attention. The entire Jeffrey Epstein thing. I actually believe this one to be true, unlike the 9/11, QAnon, and other completely bullshit stories. As far as I can remember, QAnon was a 4chan prank. But the Epstein thing is so hard to not believe. My dad worked as a cop, and seen quite a few dead bodies. Those bruises are really weird. It would make sense if the makeshift rope would move up his throat as more weight was dragging him down, but the marking on the front of his throat are too thin for a noose made out of clothing. Hanging suicides have different bruises depending on what the instrument is, and this looks way too thin, almost like a wire. And he also had broken neck bones. There is no way he was going to be able to break his own fucking neck, and while it is possible to hang yourself while your feet are touching the ground, it would require a much bigger fall to break his neck. Plus, why the fuck would the cameras not work, in that exact moment? Why wasn't he under constant in-person supervision just in case, when they clearly knew that he could have possibly been a high-value target for some people? He got a good deal for the name list. And he just happens to kill himself right before he is supposed to give it in? Maxwell better have an armed guard on her at all times. Yuri Gagarin wasn't the first man in space, he was just the first man to come back alive. Makeup ruins the skin, making women use more makeup until it becomes an endless loop. The true conspiracy against stevia. The sugar lobbyists managed to get stevia outlawed decades ago in the United States with false and negative press. Those laws were eventually trashed and the claims were proven to be bullshit. It's now legal. The stevia plant is up to 100x sweeter than sugar, 0 calories, doesn't rot teeth, all natural, and lowers blood pressure. It could replace sugar in all soft drinks and make people healthier, but the sugar companies still have a huge hold on the market and they pay off politicians. That the Kardashian sisters keep their brother chubby so they can use his fat for their injections. The Department of Transportation bought too many orange barrels and now they have nowhere to store them, so they just place them for miles along the highway. Women clothes lack pockets so the bag/purse industry can thrive. That Dave and Buster's are the same people as Barnes and Noble. Dave Barnes and Buster Noble. That the mark to fill up laundry detergent is purposefully higher than it should so you buy more. That we've had cars able to run off of alternate fuel sources for decades, but at every turn progress was stopped by oil and gas companies. Chrysler had the turbine car in the early 60s that would run off of anything that burned. Chevy was experimenting with electric cars with the Electravare in the mid-60s, which had a range of 40 to 80 miles. GM had the EV1 in the 90s. We should be decades ahead of where we are now. Favorite as in the one I find the funniest/most interesting is probably the Elvis still being alive once. The guy was pumped with so many drugs during his career and didn't take care of his body. He lived the rock and roll lifestyle and paid the price. Anything involving the Denver airport. Secret military bunker, meeting place for some secret cult, the meaning behind the murals, the gargoyle statue, Lucifer, etc. I live in Colorado so I like this type of attention.